Greetings, guys, gals, and Godmaster gamers alike. I am a Grinny Gamer, and welcome back to this Pacifist playthrough of Hallownest. As we awake here in Dirtmouth, we shall once again head onward. This time we hope to venture into Green Peth, that lush highway of forgotten glory. You may be wondering, will we fight Hornet? Must we? Must we truly squabble with our siblings? Unfortunately, friend, we must. But to do so, we must first get past the guardian of the pathway, which requires us to gain nourishment. Oh dear. We are nearly there. I shall have to take a short detour in here to heal. And also, a very important tip for those trying out this playthrough. When you leave the room, enemies in the room, their health will regenerate, allowing one to peek in and out, and savor the soul that they have gathered. This, however, also means that I cannot use the same method to defeat this fellow. Therefore, he and his child will be our next two kills. It is unfortunate, but it must be done to proceed. We are here to save the kingdom after all. We must be allowed to proceed. We shall take as few lives in the process as possible, but some are still necessary evils. Excuse me, sir. Hello. Hello, sir. I seem to be doing considerably better. Hubris. A very vicious thing. Something that every man claims he has. And most people do. But it is true humility that brings us joy. For when we are humble, we are less likely to make fools of ourselves. We shall proceed onward to share in this kingdom's glory, starting here at this bench, taking a brief rest to listen to the waterfalls, and then continuing onward without a care in the world. We are startling a few revenge flies, but it is alright. They do not mind. I'm sorry. They are not venge flies, they are mask flies. I have misjudged these poor creatures. Beg pardon. Excuse me, sir, but I would like to have this money. Yes. Thank you. Onward we go. It's to be expected, you know, this sort of progression to take an exceeding amount of time. But we shall progress nonetheless, collecting Geo where we find it, for there are many things we shall wish to acquire eventually. Excuse me. I hate to be a bother, but you are being a bit of a bother. Oh dear. As we proceed, I shall refrain from using violence, even if it is environmental, because not all creatures deserve death. I apparently do, though. I just wasn't aware of it. Thank you. Excuse me. I would like to rescue a friend of mine. Hello. Hello. I'm afraid I do not require your services, dear Cornifer. Oh dear. You seem to have fallen. I'm sorry, dear sir. Your death was in vain. It was unnecessary. But I proceed onward nonetheless. We cannot burden ourselves with what would have been, if only a foolish decision were not made. I do not require the journal, I am sorry I told you, but it is unnecessary for me to obtain it. Excuse me, sir. Hopefully, he drifts far enough away that he will not bother us. It seems he will not drift far enough away that he will not bother us. So, we shall have to be swift. Thank you. Oh dear. Here's the... Oh! That was kind of you. Thank you for not striking me. Excuse me, sister. Did you know that there is an actual arc to these creatures' projectiles? There was one day when I decided to sit here at the edge of the screen, and one of them sat about yea in the air, right here, and fired his projectiles. And one of them struck me, flying in its long, arcing path. It flew across the world and nailed me in the face. It was unpleasant for me, but he did not seem to mind, and so I choose not to cling on to the past. We shall proceed upward now. I simply wish to rest a time. Thank you, sir. I require to move past you, young moss creep. I understand you wish to guard your territory, but it really is unnecessary. It's just a small wedge of land that has no real value in the grand scheme of things. Onward we go. Unfortunately, we cannot get up there yet. Hello. I do not wish you harm. Please simply allow me to pass, and this can all be avoided. Oh dear. Sister, I have taken damage from many sources today. Could you comfort me? Is that a no, then? Very well. I will drop down here and replenish my soul, so that I may heal a time before following you on that upward path. Sister, please wait. It seems she has abandoned me, but this is fine. I know my way. It is as I say, the moment you begin to become confident is the moment you shall hurt yourself. And so it is wise to never, ever be confident in your abilities. Because once you do this, you doom yourself. Excuse me. I am amazed that no damage was taken. But I am not complaining. It was very helpful. And so, we collect what there is, and once again proceed upward. Unfortunately, there is a certain fellow that we must duel with here soon. Oh, that, sir, was unkind. Oh well, we shall have to survive. Here we are, an extra buffer. No, sir, 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 thank you. Unfortunately, that had to be done. You see, it is impossible to proceed without defeating that poor knight. He is incapable of leaving the gates open for us. 'Twas his duty to guard that portion of the path. As fruitless as his efforts may have been, we shall pour out a cup for him. And perhaps, maybe even play the world's smallest violin. We are insects after all, in the grand scheme of things. I would, however, like to gain this geo. So excuse me, sir, if I try to lead you toward your comrade. Excuse me? Yes. No. Maybe. There. You are both together, and I wish to gain your geo. Oh dear. Sirs. Oh dear. Sirs. Follow me, please. Ooh! Dear sirs, that is unkind, and rather brutal. I simply wish to pass over you, so that I may gain what I came here for. Sirs, I wish not to harm you. Unfortunately, I cannot save this small fellow. He is guarded by a knight which must not be killed for progression, especially in this world where we try to get along. Onward we shall descend. Perhaps open this gate here. There we are. It was necessary to take damage in order to retrieve the relic. Once again, the folly of mankind due to its greed. We shall open that for later. But now, we must unfortunately duel our sister. The one whom the void has not touched. The one who may call herself a her. We are simply an it. Greetings, sister. I'm sorry it must be this way. Now, depending on how you count, there are 22 beings that we must do away with. However, 2 of them are simply fights with our sister here. So if you do not consider this a kill, which it certainly isn't, she has her own sequel coming up. Yes, it is a sequel. Sister, your actions are folly. Oh dear, perhaps my actions are folly. Sister, must we fight? Apparently we must. And thus, our duel nears its end. I should probably heal. Sister, allow me passage, please. Thank you. Your contribution is appreciated. I shall see you later. Goodbye. And here we have retrieved our first ability. The Mothwing Cloak. Very helpful item. Dash we shall, dash again, and enrage the dreamers, who will try to banish us, but thanks to On's great magic, the dream is dispersed into the greenery and is seen rising away, as the dreamer's first attempt at banishing us proves unfruitful. Here we shall collect a bit more money, as it is very necessary to have such a thing. It is not necessary to fall into acid, though. It's a very foolish thing indeed. And so, we shall make our way back. Back we shall go. Down once more to the dungeon of our dark despair. and we plunge to the prison of my mind. Such words were spoken by the Phantom of the Opera, and very poignant they are for our young knight. Onward we proceed, down this path instead, because there is Geo afoot. Geo we desperately need. There. Oh dear, I seem to have made a mistake. Sorry. There.
Yep.
We have narrowly avoided danger several times now. There. Down once more. Then, onward again. Ever onward must we progress, if this playthrough is to reach a conclusion, which it shall eventually, much to my chagrin, as I have enjoyed our time together so far, as I hope you have. Oh dear, I seem inept at basic platforming. This is to be expected. No one is a master of their field. Except perhaps Fireborn, or his peers, Crazy Templar, Visuals, Monstaller, and the like. Those who are true masters of their respective fields. Onward we shall progress once more. Oh dear, I seem to have gotten myself into a bit of a pickle. I had not realized that I was down to 1 health. This is not good for us. For now we have a retinal problem apparently, as our eyes are swollen and red, or at the very least our vision is. So onward we must progress, hopefully not to our doom, though it is likely to be to our doom. Yes, here we are. Straight through here we shall replenish our health, before descending once more to the station of the Queen. A kind being she was. Is, I suppose, she is not deceased as of yet. And we shall certainly not attempt to bring that about. She is our mother, after all. One does not do away with one's own mother. It would be bad manners. Even if they brought us into a very cursed existence. Life lessons to be learned in the minutiae of a video game. Hopefully this has been very informative for you. So, for the weary, thank you. Down we shall plunge once more. Rejoice, for we are nearing our next location of rest. First, of course, though, we must proceed in here, rescue a grub, and perhaps get a little extra geo on the way. It is, of course, always nice to have access to a soul table or two. Ooh, good moss creeps, you have startled me. I shall avoid you. Upward we climb. If any wish to keep track of those unfortunate souls that I have had to extinguish the life of in this playthrough, I would be more than happy to allow one to do so. In fact, fact, I would be quite appreciative. Just to make sure that no unnecessary souls were given their final moments on my account. So far, we've had 3 Aspid Hunters, 2 Elder Balders, 1 Balder, and 1 Moss Knight. I believe that is all. I don't know why I walked away. Possibly because I was used to having the gathering sworn. Unfortunately, I do not have that effect at the moment, because Sly is not yet free from the heightened Cerebrisburg village. It was not the plan to release him this early. It would be nice for us to be able to do so. Hello, my friend. I have repeated a mistake that I had performed once before. They say it is best to learn from one's mistakes. I'm apparently not very good at doing that. Thank you, sir, for acting as a moving platform for me. And to you as well. I shall not leave anyone unthanked. Upward we climb once more, past these masked flies, into the next room. Once again, we find ourselves confronted with a problem. The massive, miserable cucumber did not want us to leave, for now it wishes to battle us. But we do not wish harm upon him. In fact, we wish him well. And so we shall proceed down into the Canyon of Fog and Jellyfish for whatever reason. Yes, the Canyon of Fog. A well-used destination, especially for one Monomon the teacher. Perhaps we shall avoid incurring the wrath of its inhabitants. Good gravy, that was close. We have proceeded with much caution and deliberation. Hello, Quirrell. I do not wish to bother you in this playthrough, unfortunately. And so here, we shall open the last stag station of this episode, take a rest, call our good friend, and proceed back to Dora for the end of the episode. Yes, unfortunately I have not much interest in what you have to say today, good sir. I apologize for that. But unfortunately I have other things I need to attend to. And so, as we take our rest here, I hope you have enjoyed your time here. Please proceed to do the YouTube things, if it so pleases you. Check out my Discord in the description, maybe even my Twitter, but I never go there. And so, I certainly hope to see your smile soon. See you.